Hey guys, Tony here with CCxRC. Got a lot of cool new things today. New studio. Hulk smash! And a new unboxing, the DBPower Hawkeye II FPV mini quadcopter. So we're going to get right into unboxing this after the break. So what do you get with the Hawkeye II quadcopter by DBPower? First off, you get a 0.3 megapixel camera. Not much. It does 640 by 480 video and pictures, which are a pretty small resolution in this day and age. But it gives you first-person viewing at under $100. You can use an app to be able to view what you're doing on your phone on the remote control. We'll take it apart here, unbox it, and we'll show you what I'm talking about. So, first off, I'm going to admit I already unboxed it because I wanted to be able to charge the battery for this. So, let's pull this out. And first off, we're going to just point out this thing is really mini. I mean, it's like the size of my hand. So it's a very small quadcopter. The remote control is actually larger than the quadcopter. What I liked about this when I saw it was that it did FPV. I got the Syma X5c with the hopes of putting some kind of a FPV system in it to be able to transmit and see what I was doing when I was flying. Oops, it looks like one of my props is kind of already broken, so I'll have to swap that out. Luckily, they give you extra props. Here, there's 4 extra props. You've got some tools, you've got your charger, and then you've got your controller here. And as you can see on the top, it's got a mount where you can put your phone. And yes, it does accommodate a 6 Plus iPhone. So, there we go, to be able to view. And the battery is actually inside of this little compartment in the back. It's not plugged in when you get it. I've already had it out to charge it, but it was already in the quadcopter. I should point out right away, one of the hardest things to do with this is to actually get the battery door back on and clipped in. So we're going to leave it off to the side until we're ready to fly it. The camera can pivot based on where you want to be viewing or shooting as you're using it. So you can tilt it down like so, or you can kind of click it and move it up so you're looking a little bit more straight for FPV. It's very small, and I'll show you a quick comparison between it, the Syma X5c, and the DJI Phantom. Give you a quick comparison here. Let's move this stuff off to the side. So, here's the DBPower Hawkeye II. Here, whoops, is the Syma X5c. Here is a DJI Phantom 2 Vision Plus with the camera built in. So, really different size as far as scale. What's neat about these smaller ones is that you can fly it indoors. So right now, Hurricane Joaquin has been off the coast here in Virginia, and it's just windy and rainy here. So I can't actually go outside to give this a test. But it's small enough, I'm going to do a little test video for you here in the studio. So we'll get to that here soon. So here's the directions. The first thing that you want to do is you want to go to the App Store on your phone and you want to download their app. You need to look in the instructions to get the name of it. It's CX_Wi-Fi UFO. That's the app. So I'm going to guess it's a pretty generic app that works with multiple different quadcopters or camera systems, and they've just installed it inside of this. Alright, so I've got my controller here. I've already downloaded the CX Wi-Fi UFO app, and I'll quickly show you what it looks like. I've got my phone upside down right now, but I'll show you can actually flip it when you're in here. So we'll hit play, and we'll do this little reverse button, and there we go. So now we're upright. The ability to take a picture here, video here. This is to look at your pictures and video that are on the quadcopter. Here's the speed or the rate at which the props work. So it's 100%, 30%, 60%. And then you can actually turn off these dials if you want, so that you can just see FPV, what you're doing. So that's just a quick look at the software. We'll show you again when we're actually flying this. Okay, so I should point out one of the things that's different about the DBPower Hawkeye II than, say, the Syma or the DJI Phantom. With those, I turn on the controller or the transmitter first, and then I power on the quadcopter. With this, there's no on or off switch anywhere to be found on this. So what you have to do here is you actually turn on the quadcopter first, and then you'll turn on your transmitter. So we'll go ahead and plug this in. We'll get our blinking lights here. So it's red and blue. Red in the front, blue in the back. And then this is the hard part with this, is actually getting the cables set up to be able to get this little battery door back on, and it doesn't really click in super easily. It's probably going to be the first thing to break, but you know, a piece of tape or something should do all right. So there, I'm clicked in, but it looks like the cable is pushing the frame down. Let me try one more time here, see if I can get it better. There. So now the battery compartment is back on. Probably the weak point so far that I found with this. But you've got your camera here, and this is for your Wi-Fi signal, GPS. It's got 6-axis, I guess, GPS. On the phone, you can see what it's looking at. So I'm going to do just the little throw to fly. There we go. Got it flying all right. We'll hit the little flip button here. I'll do a flip. Sounds like one of the props is hitting. I did that flip. Bring it back here and we'll take a look at it. So the props on these are pretty easy to fix. You just pull up on it like so and it pops right off, and you can push a new one right on. Get it back in the air. And so you can see on the controller here exactly what I'm looking at as I fly it around. So you can do flips in really tight spaces like I'm in right now, just in a little room in my house. Makes it kind of fun. And I think my battery might be dead here. One of the nice things about this is that the battery is a pretty common one. It's a 3.7 volt 700 milliamp battery. It's the same as on my Syma X5c, so I'll throw in another battery and we'll keep on flying it here. I find that it's easiest to have the battery go in with the cable out on one side and the incoming on the other, just as far as cord management, so that you can get this little clip on. You got to get it underneath, and then you've got to try and finagle your cables. Again, this is probably, of all of the features on this, there we go, we're in, that is the most difficult to work with, is actually getting the battery in here. Other than that, it seems to fly great. 100% for our speed. Alright guys, so there you have it, a first look at the DBPower Hawkeye II, this mini quadcopter that's FPV. It's pretty fun to fly. The only two things that I really would kind of like to see on this is a new battery door of some sort, and an on-off switch on the actual quadcopter itself, instead of having to take off this battery door. Or maybe I wouldn't need an on-off switch if it was easier for me to access the battery. It just feels like the one thing on here that's going to be a problem for me is going to be this battery door, and like I said, I might just tape it, or I might just try flying it without it. I'll try and get some outdoor footage of this. Right now I can't get outdoor footage because the weather is atrocious here, and so I can only really fly it inside. But they talk about flying it outdoors, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. Again, it's FPV. You can see here yourself or the camera that's filming all of this, because of the phone here is displaying real time what's showing on the quadcopter is looking at. So that's pretty cool. It's 80 bucks, Amazon. I like the size for flying indoors, and I'm curious to see how it's going to fly outdoors. Like I said, it's easy to change the props. One little tidbit I'd give, or a little note, is that these little red feet, I'm going to have to go around the office here and look for them. They come off pretty easily. I don't know if they're crucial, but a little dab of super glue on here should keep these guys on here nice and tight. But other than that, it's fun to fly. It's a battery that you can get really cheap. You can get 5 of them for like 16 or 20 bucks on Amazon, and you can be flying this for a while. The battery lasts about 5 to 8 minutes, but it's a fun little flipping quadcopter, so that's pretty cool. Hope you guys liked the review. Be sure to check out, I've got other quadcopter reviews, the DJI Phantom, the Syma, and even the Star Wars Millennium Falcon quadcopter up there. So we'll check you guys later. Have fun RCing.